Right. That's why many Kim Jones, that's why many people say America is a corporation. It's not even a country, it's a corporation. That is so true. Thank you, Odell. Yeah, I mean, we all got to be strong. You got to understand we are in the home stretch of this whole thing ending. So the closer we get to the end, the crazy personal money or truck or anything else. And it just amazes me when I watch those videos when they make those bogus calls, the kind of questions that, they ask Black people: where do you live? Where are you going? And I'm like, what? No, you don't have to tell these people things like that. No, you don't have to tell them anything. They're under this impression that any question they ask us, we have to answer. No, I'll never forget one day I was leaving my job when I was still working in corporate America. And this white woman I worked with, when I was on my way out the door, she said to me, "Where are you going?" I mean, the work, I was done. It was 5 o'clock. The job was over. And she's looking me in the face talking about, where am I going? Am I going? I was going home, but that was really none of her business. And I told her, I said, my mom don't even ask me that question anymore. I'm a grown woman. I don't have to tell no one where I'm going and what I'm doing. But it just amazes me how they don't see anything wrong with approaching a Black person and acting as if any question, no matter how personal it is, we have to answer them. No, 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 no. No. Yeah, it's going to get bad. We already anticipate this. Right. I'm not crazy enough to go in a school and do some mess like that. Now they'll kill you on the street, but they ain't gonna go in no school and kill you. Well, decent D. I did a couple of videos on the trade wars, and it's going to be a lot of people out of work. That's what I think it's going to do. It's going to put a lot of people out of work, and I believe it's going to take folks by surprise when they see how their industry that they work in is affected by that thing. And that's really the last thing we need. These people are already crazy with jobs. Without a job, they're going to be even more volatile. They're going to lose their damn minds. That's what they're going to do. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely going to put us in a recession. The farmers are already complaining that they're no longer able to sell their crops to China. See, that's why Trump was talking all that stuff about giving them $12 billion to the farmers, because they are literally, y'all, losing their crops that are supposed to be shipped over to China. That stuff ain't moving now. It's not moving. So as long as it doesn't make it to China, they're not going to make any money. So it's already impacting them a lot, make any money. So it's already impacting them a lot. And I was looking at, like I was saying in my video yesterday, I saw an article on the blue jean industry. A lot of blue jeans are sold from America, from the aluminum and steel, trading with China with the aluminum and steel. A lot of the construction, that sector is impacted. So it's just a matter of time before it's going to be a lot of industries across the board that's impacted. That's why I'm saying it's going to get bad, because people are going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their jobs. And as long as this trade war is going on, it's going to be very difficult to find more work. Very difficult. He said this pig was very nasty to my husband. He made her feel small. He told her, "Who the hell you talking to? My truck was broken into. You act like I did the shit right in front of my house." Yeah, well, a lot of them are ignorant. You know what? Queen True Royal, many of them shouldn't even be on a police force. They're so damn ignorant. They shouldn't even be cops. But they put the lowest creature they can find. Out here and make them a police officer. So, they have no standards as far as who goes on to the police force and who don't. They literally have no standards. They put the trashiest run. And China is probably going to halt a lot of things that they make and coming into the U.S. This thing is getting really serious that Donald Trump has started. It's getting serious. What I suggest is, if you can, Anna, 228, try to do as much of your shopping online. And we have to keep the lines of communication open with each other as much as possible online, and try to see if we can find Black merchants to buy from in the event where, because you can't really get everything online. I mean, let's face it. But in the event when you got to go in the store, just look around and make sure, if you notice someone watching you real hard, then what you need to do is, get your phone out and make sure you film everything that's going on. And like I said, don't be afraid to start filing those papers to go into small claims court and taking these people to court for harassing you out in public and calling the cops. Please do. Yes, I heard about that, Dolly. They moved. I haven't been over there in a while. The last time I was over there, I had taken my mom over to the credit union out there that's across the street from the Bud Company. Heritage, it's called. It used to be right across the street. That was their credit union. And I took my mom over there to close my father's bank account when he passed. And back then, Tasty Cake was still there. So, yeah, I was told they went over to Northeast Philadelphia now. But they were out there for many, many, many decades. I think Tasty Cake is like 100. Yeah, I heard about that kind of stuff. I mean, oh boy, we live in a crazy world, y'all. We live in a crazy ass world. Well, Trump don't realize he's really going to be the downfall of his own people, because this trade war means these folks ain't going to be making money. So the ones that are okay with Trump now, they're going to be fuming mad as hell when this thing gets worse. It's going to get worse because many of the people that support him, their money is going to be impacted by this trade war he got going. And you just wait. You're going to see a lot of people turning on him. Just give it a few more months. Give it a few more months. It's going to be people turning on his ass like you never seen before. Is because they're going to be losing money. Right. You can use non-GMO seeds. It should tell you right on the pack that it's non-GMO. And also, if you can get your hands on some organic soil, make sure it's organic soil and soil that has not been treated with any kind of pesticides. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a lot of people. It's coming. It's going to be a lot of people turning on Trump over this trade war. Yeah, I got a compost bin. That is very true. You definitely need a compost bin. Very true, Sir General 108. If you plant that, it'll actually do pretty well out there in the cold. I did watch your video, Kimberly. Yeah, I think everybody should watch it. You know what? If you can, post a link to it. I definitely think everybody should see that video. I'm not going to give it away because y'all should see the video. All right, y'all. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to end the live stream. But before I go, who wants to be a moderator? I try to ask each hangout because sometimes the same people are not always here. Is there anybody here that's not a moderator, but you want to be a moderator? I can mod you right now. Mod you right now. Okay. And you would like to be a moderator? Oh, okay, good. Oh, okay, good. All right, hold on. All right. I just did John Doe and Leslie Williams. G. Jones Holyfield. All right, y'all. If nobody else wants to be a moderator, I will go ahead and end this hangout. And I just want to make sure you guys follow the link that Cabrera Santana just posted to that video. Oh, it's always great hanging out with you guys. Always great. And if we can come together on the Shabbat, that is a beautiful thing the way I see it. Because I know we are spread out in so many different states. At least we can come together and just listen to a good chapter or even the whole book in the Bible. I love that kind of stuff anyway. So enjoy the rest of the Shabbat. And I will probably do, like I said, a hangout tomorrow, and we'll just shoot the breeze and talk about all of the different events that's going on. And I'll have a panel. So, Shabbat Shalom, family. Peace.
Who are those children all dressed in red? God is gonna trouble the water. Must be the one that knows that red. God is gonna trouble the water. Who are those children all dressed in white? God is gonna trouble the water. Looks like it might be those Israelites. Yeah. God is gonna trouble the water. Rain in the water. Rain in the water. Rain in the water. Rain in the water. Now I'm purified. Now I'm purified. Rain in the water. Rain in the water. Rain in the water. Now I'm purified. Rain in the water. Hold your clothes and not your rain. Who are those children all dressed in blue? God is gonna trouble the water. Must be the one that made it through. God is gonna trouble the water. One more thing I'd like to say, Jordan River, chilling cold. God is gonna trouble the water. Chill my body, but not my soul.
Shalom to everybody that just entered the room. It's good to see you all back. We're going to continue on from where we left off, and that's Exodus 15. But before we do that, there's a video that I want to show you, all right? And I want you to pay attention because at the very end, they're going to show you a rock that they found at the base of Mount Sinai. So I want you to take a close look at this rock because it has inscription on it, all right? And this was left by our ancestors. So let me go ahead and play this video. This is a video from, no, not that one. Hold on, let me see if I can find the damn video. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's called Promise Keepers by Bob Canuck. Let me put this link. Hold on. I'm going to put the link in. So if you want to watch it at another time, that's the link. All right. Let's see if we can get to this now. Now, remember, he's going to say a lot of things that we know is not true. So just kind of take all the stuff that he says with a grain of salt, but just pay attention to the artifacts, okay? Out there in, in the Saudi Arabian desert.
You see the little yellow dot up there? Can we get those lights off? Yeah, a little bit hard to see. Can you see it okay? Okay. Now we're going to go, okay, you can see that pie-shaped place is the Sinai Peninsula. Then the red line is going over across the Gulf of Aqaba. I think that's where they would have crossed the Red Sea. I think that's the right fork of the Red Sea. That's known as the Red Sea in Scripture. 2 Kings 19:36 talks about, 1 Kings 6 talks about that. This the highest mountain in the region of the ancient land of Midian has been talked about by Flavius Josephus, Demetrius, and Philo as the highest mountain is being Mount Sinai. And you go over there today, and the Bedouins call the mountain Jabal Musa. This mountain fits everything. It's in the place that the Bible says. Look at these rocks. They're melted black on the outside, and they have this appearance of black on the outside, and they're granite on the inside. Is this where God's hand literally came down and burnt these rocks? We have these rocks tested, and these rocks are metamorphic rocks. They're not volcanic. They were changed by heat. You can see on the right side the black, on the left side the tan. Is this where God came down and scorched the rocks? If this is the real Mount Sinai, there's a real good chance this is true. Now, Flavius Josephus, Demetrius, and Philo from 250 BC have all said the highest mountain in the region of Midian is Mount Sinai. The Bible also talks about there being an altar there. This is about 30 feet high and 30 feet across. This is a man-made altar in the middle of nowhere. And on the side of it, you have the Egyptian bull god Apis and Hathor inscribed on the rocks. What is this doing here? These rocks were pushed into place. People don't live out in this area. It gets a half an inch of rain every 10 years. People don't live out here. What is this huge, big altar doing with the bulls on it? Then we have this altar here that it's 120 feet. It goes by 60 feet by 60 feet. It has the center rock ridge. We believe this is where the animals were channeled. They slaughtered the animals. The Bible talks about them doing burnt offerings. We found ancient ash here, and we found pillars here. Why are the pillars important? Because the Bible talks about Moses putting up the 12 pillars representing the 12 tribes of Israel. This is astounding that all these things seem to fit. Then the Bible talks about Moses hitting a rock and water coming from it. I've been all over this desert. There is no rocks where water have come out over there. It's dry as a bone. Look at this rock. You can see where water has gushed out of this rock. It has swirled eddies. This is not done by wind. This is done by hydraulic forces. This rock, if this is the real Mount Sinai, is the rock that Moses struck and water came out of it. And this evidence today, and what did Jesus say when the Pharisees were yelling at him when he had his triumphal entry into Jerusalem? Said, Hosanna, Hosanna. They said, if these people stop saying it, the very stones will cry out. Look at the stones showing the evidence today. This particular stone, and I haven't shown this before publicly. This is this particular shot. This is, you see the stone here? This was found around the mountain. Why is this important? Because if this is the real Mount Sinai, we have these different letters inscribed on rocks over there. And this particular rock has a very unique appearance to it. You can see the front of it. That's a YH and the backside has the WH. Okay, that spells Yahweh. This is an ancient stone with Yahweh on the face. What did Moses have when he came down from Mount Sinai? The glory of God was on his face. These stones are crying out today. Can we prove this with DNA and fingerprints? No. But the evidence is starting to mount slowly. We're going to go to our second search now. We're going to go search for the Ark.
You know, they got so much of, our history. Our enemies got so much of our history. And I just want you to know it's going to come out little by little. There are people that are walking around still saying the Exodus never happened. It's not real. But all of that stuff is out in Saudi Arabia's desert. Now, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. If that stuff did not exist, why does the Saudi Arabian government got signs up saying if you go over those fences, they have the right to kill you? Okay, look at the lengths that they are going to keep all of this from getting out worldwide. I mean, they're willing to kill people to keep this whole thing silent about who we really are and who those people out in the deserts were. Those were our forefathers and foremothers out in those deserts. And believe me, that rock is not the only thing they have. I watched another video, and I've been looking for this video, and I no longer see it online. There were two pillars. One was on the Egyptian side. One was on the Saudi Arabia side. Okay, two pillars. And those pillars were the spot that our people were supposed to meet at before the parting of the sea. And the pillar on the other side was just to let them know once they got over to Saudi Arabia, they were going in the right direction. Now, one pillar is still up on the Egyptian side. They never took that pillar down. That's been there for thousands of years, and it's still there. The pillar on the Saudi Arabia side, they took it down. And one guy that worked there in the desert around that area guarding it said the pillar had the calf, which they got that from living in Egypt. That's why you see the calf marking, because a lot of that worshiping of, the cattle was big in Egypt, and our people lived in Egypt, just like we pick up the ways of our enemies now. So that's exactly what our people did back then. So it's not, it's not confusing. Those things happen, especially if you're in a land, a foreign land, you're going to pick up some of the customs. So it's not far-fetched. We call the Most High by different names, but on the pillar on the Saudi side, this man said on the pillar, it had the word Edom, it had the word Esau, and it had the word Yahweh on this pillar. And Saudi Arabia removed the pillar and would not let anybody see it. And it was stuff that our ancestors carved right into the pillar when they got on the other side after going across the Red Sea. But Saudi Arabia will not let anybody see that pillar anymore. But the man was telling us, telling on the video what was on there. So no, I looked for that video. When I saw the video, that's right, I saw that video in 2010. That's when I saw the video about the pillars and how Saudi Arabia removed the pillar after it was standing there for thousands of years. They took it down. So it's a shame. I would love to see that pillar, but they won't show it to anybody. I believe it has all the evidence on that pillar about who we are, because our forefathers walked up and they wrote a lot of things in Hebrew on that pillar. And for some reason, they don't want us to see it. Yeah. you know. But many of the Arabs know who we are. They know, because what you don't realize is they know who we are because it's taught in their schools. It's not taught over here because America will not teach international history. America only want to teach you their history, which we know is full of lies. It's only told from one perspective. So, and we know we're never going to get the truth from these folks. If you don't go digging for the truth, you're never going to get it from them. No, you're right, T. Thomas. That stuff is ours. None of that belongs to Saudi Arabia. That's our stuff. Anything our forefathers left, that's for us. That's not for the Saudi government. They were just passing through there because that was the way to the promised land. So they were just passing through that desert. Yeah, I agree, King Hebrew. They need to give all of it back. The Vatican needs to give everything they got back. We have wealth. It's just that everybody is hoarding our wealth. That's the thing. And just on the art that they got over in those European museums that belong to our Hebrew forefathers that they have and stolen, on just the art alone, we would be the wealthiest people on earth. That stuff is worth probably a good $1 billion or even more. But you see how everybody's hoarding our stuff? Everybody is hoarding our stuff. Yeah, well, Virgil, the Most High said they got to give everything back. Everything, they got to give every drop of it back to us. And he's going to make them give everything back. Not only Esau, but all of the rest of these tribes on earth that have stolen from us. And the Arabs are another big one that have stolen a lot from us. So all of that stuff got to be returned back to us. Right. Exactly. Why would they bother hoarding it? Exactly. Because they know the value of it. That's the thing. And I can't even say, that's what we don't realize. It's not really true. It has never been revealed to us. So, there's so much more that's being hidden from us. And these people are fully aware of who we are. And you can best believe Esau knows that you don't dig out there in the Egyptian desert and you didn't find us there. We lived right alongside those Egyptians. A lot of stuff they have dug out of that sand in Egypt that belongs to us. A lot of stuff, but they're not going to reveal it. Our people lived in Egypt for thousands of years and went in and out of Egypt for thousands of years. If you go in the Old Testament, our people were constantly going in and out of Egypt and living in Egypt. So there's no way none of that stuff don't belong to us. A lot of it belongs to us too. Yeah, there is a video of a pillar. Yes. But I'm talking about both of them. The one on the Egyptian side, that's right. That's still there. You can find the videos on that pillar. But the one that was on the Saudi Arabia side that our forefathers actually carved all kinds of things into, that one got removed. So yes, there is one still standing, but not the other one. That's very true. I mean, you can find the ones with the one that's standing over in Egypt. I have seen several videos like that, but the one on the Saudi Arabian side, that one's gone. The Saudi government removed it. Now, you got to ask yourself, why were the Saudi government so concerned about that pillar that it had to be removed? Yeah, we lived in Sudan. In fact, Yehuda, the land of Yehuda was right there through Sudan. That is very true. We lived all over. We lived in the western part. We lived all across the northern part of Africa. That whole area we lived in. You know, we got so much wealth, it ain't even funny. And that's just more proof of it right there. Shabbat shalom, Mr. Pirate Brain. All right, y'all. All right, so let's get back into chapter 15 of the book of Exodus. Let's see here. No. Sounds of Sinai. I don't need those. I don't need that. So, all right, so we left off on chapter 15. So that's where we're going to pick up.
Exodus 15. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his host hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone. Thy right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, hath dashed in pieces the enemy. And in the greatness of thine excellency, thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. And with the blast of thy nostrils the waters were gathered together. The floods stood upright as an heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword, my hand shall destroy them. Thou didst blow with thy wind. The sea covered them. They sank as lead in the mighty waters. Who is like unto thee, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders? Thou stretchedst out thy right hand. The earth swallowed them. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestina. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of thine arm they shall be as still as a stone. Till thy people pass over, O Lord, till the people pass over, which thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in, and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing ye to the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness, and found no water. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, What shall we drink? And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree, which when he had cast into the waters were made sweet. There he made for them a statute and an ordinance, and there he proved them, and said, If thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and wilt do that which is right in his sight, and wilt give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am the Lord that healeth thee. And they came to Elim, where there were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the waters. Exodus 16. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the 2nd month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, Would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into this wilderness, to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Then said the Lord unto Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them, whether they will walk in my law or no. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel, At even then ye shall know that the Lord hath brought you out from the land of Egypt. And in the morning then ye shall see the glory of the Lord, for that he heareth your murmurings against the Lord. And what are we that ye murmur against us? And Moses said, This shall be, when the Lord shall give you in the evening flesh to eat, and in the morning bread to the full, for that the Lord heareth your murmurings, which ye murmur against him. And what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord. And Moses spake unto Aaron, Say unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, Come near before the Lord, for he hath heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, At even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am the Lord your God. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, It is manna, for they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, This is the bread which the Lord hath given you to eat. This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. Gather of it every man according to his eating, an omer for every man according to the number of your persons. Take ye every man for them which are in his tents. And the children of Israel did so, and gathered, some more, some less. And when they did meet it with an omer, he that gathered much had nothing over, and he that gathered little had no lack. They gathered every man according to his eating. And Moses said, Let no man leave of it till the morning. Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left of it until the morning, and it bred worms and stank, and Moses was wroth with them. And they gathered it every morning, every man according to his eating, and when the sun waxed hot, it melted. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, This is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today, and seethe that ye will seethe. And that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept until the morning. And they laid it up till the morning, as Moses bade, and it did not stink, neither was there any worm therein. And Moses said, Eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto the Lord. Today ye shall not find it in the field. 6 days ye shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people on the 7th day for to gather, and they found none. And the Lord said unto Moses, How long refuse ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that the Lord hath given you the Sabbath. Therefore he giveth you on the 6th day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. And the house of Israel called the name thereof manna. And it was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. And Moses said, This is the thing which the Lord commandeth. Fill an omer of it to be kept for your generations, that they may see the bread wherewith I have fed you in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Egypt. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a pot, and put an omer full of manna therein, and lay it up before the Lord, to be kept for your generations. As the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel did eat manna 40 years, until they came to a land inhabited. They did eat manna, until they came unto the borders of the land of Canaan. Now an omer is the 10th part of an ephah. Exodus 17. And all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Sin, after their journeys, according to the commandment of the Lord, and pitched in Rephidim. And there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses, and said, Give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, Why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Lord? And the people thirsted there for water. And the people murmured against Moses, and said, Wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt, to kill us, and our children, and our cattle with thirst? And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smotest the river. Take in thine hand, and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted the Lord, saying, Is the Lord among us or not? Then came Amalek, and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, Choose us out men, and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in mine hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed, and when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone, and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the one side, and the other on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And the Lord said unto Moses, Write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar, and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi. For he said, Because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Exodus 18. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses and for Israel his people, and that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt, then Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her back, and her 2 sons, of which the name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been an alien in a strange land, and the name of the other was Eliezer, For the God of my father, said he, was mine help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moses into the wilderness, where he encamped at the mount of God. And he said unto Moses, I, thy father-in-law Jethro, am come unto thee, and thy wife, and her 2 sons with her. And Moses went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance, and kissed him, and they asked each other of their welfare, and they came into the tent. And Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, and all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how the Lord delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all the goodness which the Lord had done to Israel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Jethro said, Blessed be the Lord, who hath delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, who hath delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, for in the thing wherein they dealt proudly, he was above them. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took a burnt offering and sacrifices for God. And Aaron came, and all the elders of Israel, to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law before God. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning unto the evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto even? And Moses said unto his father-in-law, Because the people come unto me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws. And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away, both thou and this people that is with thee. For this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee. Be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. And let them judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee. If thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their place in peace. So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said. And Moses chose able men out of all Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. And they judged the people at all seasons. The hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. And Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went his way into his own land. Exodus 19. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. For they were departed from Rephidim, and were come to the desert of Sinai, and had pitched in the wilderness, and there Israel camped before the mount. And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And Moses came and called for the elders of the people, and laid before their faces all these words which the Lord commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, All that the Lord hath spoken we will do. And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the third day. For the third day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death. There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned, or shot through. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day, come not at your wives. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by a voice. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai, on the top of the mount, and the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also, which come near to the Lord, sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them. And Moses said unto the Lord, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, Set bounds about the mount, and sanctify it. And the Lord said unto him, Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them. So Moses went down unto the people, and spake unto them. Exodus 20. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor, and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings, and the lightnings, and the noise of the trumpet, and the mountains smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed, and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. but let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And the Lord said unto Moses, Thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, Ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings, and thy peace offerings, thy sheep, and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee. And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon. Exodus 21. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or unto the door post, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her unto a strange nation he shall have no power, seeing he hath dealt deceitfully with her. And if he hath betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these 3 unto her, then shall she go out free without money. He that smiteth a man so that he die shall be surely put to death. And if a man lie not in wait, but God deliver him into his hand, then I will appoint thee a place whither he shall flee. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, thou shalt take him from mine altar, that he may die. And he that smiteth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And he that curseth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. And if men strive together, and one smite another with a stone or with his fist, and he die not, but keepeth his bed, if he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be quit. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. And if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or 2, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief owned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be quit. But if the ox were wont to push with his horn in time past, and it hath been testified to his owner, and he hath not kept him in, but that he hath killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death. If there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him. Whether he hath gored a son, or have gored a daughter, according to this judgment shall it be done unto him. If the ox shall push a manservant or a maidservant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit, and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. And if one man's ox hurt another's, that he die, then they shall sell the live ox, and divide the money of it, and the dead ox also they shall divide. Or if it be known that the ox hath used to push in time past, and his owner hath not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his own. Exodus 22. If a man shall steal an Exodus 22. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox, and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought unto the judges, to see whether he have put his hand unto his neighbor's goods. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges, and whom the judges shall condemn, he shall pay double unto his neighbor. If a man deliver unto his neighbor an ass, or an ox, or a sheep, or any beast, to keep, and it die, or be hurt, or driven away, no man seeing it, then shall an oath of the Lord be between them both, that he hath not put his hand unto his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make it good. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution unto the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then let him bring it for witness, and he shall not make good that which was torn. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. But if the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make it good. If it be an hired thing, it came for his hire. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie with her, he shall surely end. And it shall come to pass,